Indiana Latino Expo Show. Gloria Jimenez.
Hello, dear friends. My name is Gloria Jimenez, and we're here with Stacy Atkinson. She is the Vice Chancellor.
The Chancellor.
The Chancellor for Hamilton County.
Yep.
How are you, Stacy?
I'm great, Gloria. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, where all the bad stuff happens on TV. And I was born to parents who don't speak English as a first language, so I learned Spanish as the first language that we spoke at home. I went to high school, graduated high school, tried college twice unsuccessfully. So I was not successful in college twice. I joined the Marines. I spent 5 years in the Marines, and then we relocated and made our way here to Indiana, where we've been for 7 years, and I started my career at Ivy Tech. So it's been super exciting to be here in Indiana.
That's awesome. We have a Latina here in Indiana.
There's not many of us, but I'm one of them.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about Ivy Tech, what you guys are doing right now.
So Ivy Tech has about 40 locations, and Ivy Tech is the community college for the state of Indiana. And we offer classes that are very specialized in programs and careers that our students want to get later on. So a student can walk in and say, hey, I want to be a welder, and we figure out a way through our 2-year institution to make sure that they can go into the right courses and go into welding courses and be a welder upon graduation, and hopefully help them find a job when we're done, because we've made so many connections for them.
Right. And what are the latest initiatives that Ivy Tech has?
So the one that I will speak to the most, we have many, but the one that is most prevalent right now is Ivy Plus. So what Ivy Plus is, it's a model where our tuition and books go into one fee. So students are charged one fee, and that includes tuition and books. And for the first year, this academic year coming up, Ivy Tech is covering all textbooks, mandatory textbooks, for all of our students, which is a great initiative for students that have a financial barrier and think they can't come to college because of their own financial barrier.
Right. Yeah, that's so important.
That for all of our students.
That's so important, especially for those that are struggling with, like their DACA, or they don't have a job, or like the support of family. So diversity and inclusion is super important. What are the initiatives, and why Hispanics and Latinos are so important for Ivy Tech?
So for Ivy Tech, every population and every category is very important for Ivy Tech, and we hope to create a sense of belonging for all of the students and all of the employees in the college. Right now, we understand that diversity, equity, and belonging is something that has moved forward, and a conversation that has been very much advanced in the last few years. We've made it a strategic plan goal, so diversity, equity, and belonging does sit in our strategic plan. There's a diversity, equity, and belonging office that has come up at Ivy Tech that serves under the leadership at Ivy Tech, and then every one of the campuses has a role or a position that is also working every single day to advance the conversation, for sure.
That's amazing. And with diversity and inclusion comes a lot of jobs.
For sure.
Are you guys hiring right now?
So Hamilton County is hiring. We are a new campus with only 36 employees as of this morning. At some point, we'll get to 100. It'll be a slow process. We hope to get to 100 maybe in the next 2 to 3 years. But that's one campus. There are, again, 40 locations and 18 other campuses. Ivy Tech is always looking for staff and qualified staff and people they can mold and develop, for sure.
Yes, and we're going to put the link, so people, if you're interested to work for Stacy and Ivy Tech.
Yeah, I'll take you.
Yeah, she's amazing. She sounds really cool to work for. What are the biggest barriers that Ivy Tech is facing right now?
So one of the things that is a barrier, and I remember it being a barrier when I went to school, was the financial portion that we talked a little bit. Paying for college is oftentimes a barrier or deemed a barrier. At Ivy Tech, we do all that is necessary to make sure that we knock down that barrier. Sometimes selecting a program straight out of high school for our younger students is often a difficult thing too. Not exactly sure what I want to be when I grow up, but I know I need to get to college to get there. So we make it so that they can transfer. Come with us for 2 years and transfer in 2 years. Maybe you've got it all figured out, and with exposure and meeting other people in other industries, maybe by then you have an answer. So we try really hard to lower all of the barriers that we know of, and our students are the best source to tell us, hey, that's not working. Let's figure something out for that. So we work really hard for all of that.
That's amazing, because one of the barriers also is like, I am Hispanic, I'm learning English, and I need to talk to someone that speaks Spanish, or maybe a mom that wants to help his kid. Do you have people that speak Spanish?
Yeah, so I was that student. I was somebody who walked into an institution with a mom who didn't speak English, and I was doing much of the translating, and it was very unsuccessful. It just wasn't working. I wasn't getting my point across, and they weren't equipped to get their point across. So in Hamilton County, we have 2 employees. So myself included, we speak Spanish, and we work really hard to make sure that the language is not a barrier. The great thing about us being a system is perhaps there's someone in Terre Haute that speaks another language that a student prefers and is most comfortable with and most convenient with. So that's just a phone call. We just pick up the phone and say, hey, can you talk to this student or talk to this parent? And we share services like that. It's the great part about being a system at Ivy Tech and 40 locations is there are skills everywhere.
Yeah, it's the biggest college, I think, around the United States,
we're
right?
We're singly accredited, so we have one accreditation for the entire institution, and we are the biggest community college in the nation.
That's amazing. That's wonderful to have that opportunity here in Indiana. How people can reach out to Ivy Tech?
So there's a webpage. You can find anything you need on our webpage. It's ivytech.edu. The other thing I would offer to everybody is you can call our Ivy line at 888-IVY-LINE. That's 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. So if at midnight you decide, I want to talk to someone at Ivy Tech, they'll be there to take your call.
Okay, that's great. Anything else you want to share with us,
The only
Stacy?
thing I would say is that I was much like everybody who's watching us today. There were so many barriers posed for me 15 years ago when I started my journey in going to college, and I committed to everybody and commit to everybody here today that I will take you by the hand. So ask me whatever you want. Find me by email. Find me on the website. Find my cell phone number. Call me, text me. I commit and promise that I will make it a safe space so that anyone that wants to come here, I'll get your questions answered.
That is so sweet and amazing. Well, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking to look for, you know, a new career opportunity, no matter what age you are, because I know a lot of people that, like the traditional students or people that me, like single moms, that we want to go back to school.
We serve them all.
Yes, that's true, because I know them, a lot of the students. Thank you so much, Stacy.
Anytime.
Yeah, it's great to have you at the Indiana Latino Expo show. And let's go back celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month.
Indiana Latino Expo Show.